Yo, what's going on, traders? What's going on, traders? It's Bradley again on the screen. So, it's been a long time I dropped, so I just started to like take time and do this video for you guys. So, like, you guys should begin the new year with something. So, today we're going to be talking about directional bias of an uptrend. Now, what is directional bias? Directional bias is literally like the overall direction of the market, because if you tend to take trade that is not in line with the directional bias, you're going to get stopped out. Why? Because the market always follows movements from the higher time frame before like executing entries on the lower time frame. Now, we all know that like there are three movements in the market. We all know that the market moves, firstly, the market moves on an uptrend, creating higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. Okay, good, higher highs and higher lows. Now, this is for an uptrend, and then the same thing for a downtrend. It creates lower lows instead now, and lower highs, lower lows, and lower highs, lower lows. Then for manipulation, it's just going to be hitting the support and the resistance back. Support, sorry, resistance, support, resistance, support, just like that, for a consolidating market. Okay, now that's what is there. We basically know that the market moves in three directions, which is the uptrend, the downtrend, and the consolidation market. Now, how do we like get entries? Like the directional bias, like I said, with the market tends to follow the direction on the higher time frame than the lower time frame. Why? Because the higher time frame controls the market. Now, looking at the charts right now, what we are on JU, so let's give the directional bias on JU. Now, obviously, JU is obviously on an uptrend. Why do I say so? JU has been on an uptrend since from here. And then how did we? That is if you want, and then that's how I usually stay on trades like it. You can see me buying GJ for a whole week. You're gonna be wondering like, what am I doing? Like this. Once I have an entry on the higher time frame, that is, or it can stay like for till my setting level is taken out. Like for example, now what do we see here? We see here that we have a break of structure, which indicates we are on an uptrend. Sorry, if you don't know the strategy, I use SLP from the SMC, so that's what I trade with. So if you don't know how to trade it, at least do research and know how to trade it, or you can still like that is just learn the strategy. Now the SLP strategy, what that I use is structural liquidity, point of interest. Now using it now to determine the directional bias, that is, you can use the strategy on any time frame, that is, which is going to work out very very well. Now, right, like for example, we're using it now to get the directional bias on the 4 hour time frame. Now that week on GJ, what happens? We had a break of structure. Now we have an inducement here, and that inducement, what happens now? Price tab must come and strip this inducement and hit a point of interest. Now, which point of interest do you have? This is the closest breaker. Then this is the point of interest. Now, what do you notice that happened when price got there? When price got there, it hit. Then what happened? Now, if we're taking this entry, meaning that whole week, because we're on the 4 hour time frame, that whole week we'll be looking for buys. That is, every morning when I wake up, I'm just going to be looking for buys till this level is taken out. Till this level is taken out. That whole week I'm just gonna be looking for buys. And then this movement, that is 6 4 hour candles from 24 hours. So 6 4 hour candles, that is, that day we'll just be taking buys. That is the same thing the following day, just like that, just like that. So you see that, like, would you'll be targeting this high like for 2 weeks. That's why you see me taking trades on the same direction, and you'll be wondering why, because I've had a directional bias on the higher time frame already. So you see, so that's how we will have, and then take that high is going to be taken out. Now this is, let me just now this could be our entry here. That's how I had the directional bias. Now you go down to the lower time frame. Now you scale down to the lower time frame, and then you have like sniper entries. That is every day. That's what I said, that when I drop a directional bias in the directional bias room, that is, you are supposed to, like, wherever each day when you wake up, you look for the entries like from that direction. Don't do the opposite, because the higher time frame follows the higher time frame. That is, the market following the higher time frame. Sorry, like for example, this a clean setup that we had on GG already, following the option, and then now what happens? This high has been broken. we have seen that we caused another break of structure. So what are we going to look for again? We're going to look for the same strategy, the same analysis. Now we scroll down to like the charts are not clear here. In order for us to have an entry down and target this next high, because that's the high we're going to be targeting now. This next high, we are targeting this next high. For the with the buyer still, we are not selling. Why? Because we have not had the sell structure. So you see, now you scroll down to the lower time frame. Why? Because why do you say that we're on a buy trend? Because we have been seeing like upper trend like this, lower lows and higher highs and higher lows creating. Higher highs and higher lows creating. So it's needless for us to sell. So we're just going to be buying. The confirmation begins from here. Why? Because we had the break of structure to the upside. And what happens here? We had an inducement here. So obviously the next point of interest should be this breakout block. And what happened when price got there? Price tapped the breaker and then went straight to TP. That is for the 4 hour time frame. Now, each day when you wake up, you like go to scroll down to the 15 minute or 5 minute time frame. You use your strategies and get entries. Like for me, you all know what I use. Even on the 15 minute, it's still going to work. Now, using my strategy on the now mark this line. Using my let's go to the 2 hour time frame to have an entry on this. Let's see something. Okay, now what happened? You see that what? Our next high is this. Now what do we have? We have a break of structure here. That is that high was broken from the 4 hour time frame. The high was broken. Now what are we looking for next? We are looking for what? An inducement. This is an inducement. The next, that is the pullback after a break of structure. That is an inducement. Now what next are we going to be looking out for? We're looking now for a point of interest. So this is our point of interest, this other block. And then what happens then? It taps the other block, and what happens? It goes straight to TP. So it goes straight to TP. That's our entry. Then TP hits successfully. The same thing applies to any chart, any time frame, everything. It applies to everything. So that's how you have hit TP. That is 6 4 hour candles formed 6 4 hour candles from 24 hours. So that's how you have hit TP. That is that week, because these are more than 6 4 hour candles here and 2 hours candles. So that is just how I look for entries on it. That, and you can see what you are still on an uptrend. The same thing here. What happens? The strategy like this, I don't know why, guys, that is like try to learn my strategy, like do research. Like I've already exposed it SLP, so do research if you don't want to learn from me. That is structure that has been broken, because this recent high was broken here. Is it structure has been broken? What happens next? Well, it creates inducement, and what happens after the inducement? We have another block here. What happens when price gets there? Price gets there, and then which high are we targeting? This high is the next break of structure, so we're targeting this high, and immediately that happens, that high. What happens when price gets to the point of interest? When price gets to the point of interest, it's clear. Entry, TP. That is, there are not two things you're expecting. Once your directional bias is correct, that is, yeah, that's why you rarely see me taking SLs, because like, so I think that's just all I wanted to show you guys for today. That's how I take entries, like directional bias from the higher time frame, and then look at you would have caught these entries. Like you can even scroll down to the 15 minute and keep catching entries just like that, just like that, just like that. So that's how the video is getting too long. So that's how I use to get entries on the higher time frame. That is getting directional bias on the higher time frame. So that's just all I do. Now broker link in the description box below. If you want to sign up. You can save more than 10k on the brokers. That is in the brokers wallet. Then join the Telegram community where I drop free signals and free shares. Like for example, I cannot remember the last time we failed any NFP or any news, so we always kill it. So free link in the description box below. Then I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.